Do it for the team. The free COVID vaccine. You're ready to start your own business, to turn that passion into a pay.
On 44 road. The world turned its back on me. I'm a criminal. We got souls. He got souls. But I got different ones. And then way out, I tell you wrong. Don't pray for nothing in the church. We can't forgive us for living. Remain in the churches. Trust in the Lord. Oh, please. Forgive me for the times that I did on the praise giving. Had no respect to your prayer. Because you really said it's no attention. Try to pick up with a blind fail. They said they'll be busy ranches. I'm just grinding for my time share. The levels they credit fail. They hunch it like band pell. But they gon' get it out the game like you munchies. You take that office and nothing. They try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. To be sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times and it's death to us walk up. So how you feel about this truth out the show? You acting like you think a nigga. I should walk now. Even your own people on this show. And when the Lord say they hate you for my name, then you better keep it on. Ain't no more kiss, ain't no more question. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jennings. Murder for capitalized, murder at the Capitol. The world in the maze, but we like fuck a raging. I pity those watching life as they go by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. Ain't public smoke, never try to. They get out on my brother, be the dead. It's all I don't even follow salute. I be salute. They like, how you stay focused? I told them I'm motivated because you do, my nigga. Brothers and weapons, still got weapons on the seat. And I never do my niggas like Bishop here. I hate what everybody don't believe. They under MC. So they say she leaving, said she wanna let that love go. So I think that love broke. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blow. So how you feel about this truth out the show? It's acting like this ain't a nigga. I should walk. Even your own people on this zone. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah. I was trying to stop something on the board.
Yeah, Lashawan, I've already Wait, one more, y'all. What's going on, Israel?
Hey, I'm just following over. Let me go to slow motion for you. He received it all, then he notarized. Keep it 144 because I know a guy. Know his heart, you know the animals when we go and ride. We back again, no cat, when I was cat again. Yeah, said my soul gets to be matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K with no acronym. They say they want to hit it wrong. They say they hit it wrong. They nigga been over the coast. They get it wrong. Keep telling me.
Hey. All right, let's clap it up, Akim. Shalom, Israel. All right. Hold on. Real quick. Just grooving for a minute. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Yahweh Shema Thumb Hashem Yahweh Shah. Share this class on Facebook. All right. For all our brothers out there in Philly, they hit us with another flag, man. These devils, man. The oppressor is the devil the Bible speak of. About to come around in a minute. You already know it's lesson 13. Lesson 13. Oh, Salaki. We ain't even get to 13 yet. We still on lesson 12 in the review. All right. I'm about to come down in a second. We on lesson 12 doing the review. All right. And drill. And we're going to go into the section where they call the verb, where they try to, elaborate just a little bit more on the verb. All right. Hold on. Lock it. Boom. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to do something. There we go. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna come around to the screen real quick so everybody can see what I'm talking about. We're in the Biblical Hebrew text and workbook. All right. Biblical Hebrew, a text and workbook. Go ahead. It's kind of dark. It is a little dark, but what I buy. We're gonna try to rock with it though as much as we can without jamming nothing up. Okay. Hold on. What am I doing? Is this it? Right here? Here we go. Biblical Hebrew text and workbook. All right, let's see, it's sort of mirror. Biblical Hebrew, a text and workbook authored by 3 she-devils. It doesn't matter what their names are, but it's authored by 3 she-devils. These devils authored this book right here. That, of course, Yehudi Ben, whatever his name was, studied our language, of course, because we were speaking Hebrew still, even though we were in slavery. While we was going into slavery, King James and them was translating the Bible. Just let you know that we are the biblical Israelites, because those two things happened simultaneously. During that whole span from 1492 all the way up, when did we hit America? When did we hit the shores of America? Anybody know? Somebody type it in if you know when we hit the shores of America as slaves. 16 something, right? Well, listen, the Bible was translated from 1608 all the way to 1611, and it was published in 1611. That's why we have the 1611 King James Bible. If y'all read the introduction to the King James Bible, it lets you know that it started being translated in 1608. All right, just get you a 1611 King James Bible. Go ahead.
Let's say 1619.
1619. So 1492, Columbus came here, started his garbage, started all his evil. Back and forth trips and murdering our brothers. 1608, King James, sitting on the throne, hired Black and Hispanic scholars to translate the Bible from Hebrew into English. All right. With that being said, 1619, they came and rounded us up. Them Africans rounded us up. Africans rounded up the Jews and sold the Jews, which is us, Blacks and Hispanics, into slavery. All right. The Arabs made the slave ships, which is dumb to be a Muslim.
Right.
The Africans, which is dumb to call yourself an African, they grounded you up and sold you to the white man.
Right.
So Arabs, Africans, and white people are how we got into slavery in America. While that was happening, King James had already translated the Bible from King James hired the 54 scholars they had already translated the Bible from Hebrew and Greek into English. There you have it. So with that being said, Yehudi bin whatever his name is, and what was it, 1948, went over there, they took the land with the whole Zionist movement. Our land was empty. It was empty. Had random various heathens just living and walking through it and, freeloading. What they call that in America? There's a law on this. You keep a house for 5 years without somebody living in it. Squatting. They in there squatting in our land and just, because we over here being slaves. 1948, fake Jewish man, so-called Jewish man, he just went over there and took it. That's it. He just claimed it, said it was his, because he had already converted to Judaism. Hitler already beat his behind. They put some of them in the gas chamber, put them in the chokehold. He killed us too. He killed actual Jews. You can look up online about the pictures that the Nazis put out with black people with big lips with the shield of David, which I have right here on my karate gi, with the shield of David next to him with big lips, smiling, cheesing with big white teeth. Hitler put those, set up all those little paintings, because it was a painting, like different little paintings and things like that of real Jews. All right, so he did kill real Jews as well, but he was getting rid of the problem that was in his land of Germany.
Right.
The fake Jews, the Ashkenazi Jews, they're just Germans. They're just dirty, Polish, low life, wannabe Jew scum.
Right.
All right, of the earth. Nobody loves you. Nobody gives a damn. And you stole our culture. First you converted to it and then started whatever you've been doing with it while we was going through this tragedy and still are going through this tragedy. And you went and said, well, look, okay, I believe it started with the Ottoman Turk Empire and the whole Muslim and Christian thing where they was fighting and, in jihad and killing and defending Christ or whatever they called that at that time, which it wasn't. But while they was fighting, the Ashkenazis, the Khazars, Amalek, according to the Bible, what they did was they just converted to Judaism, or what they call Judaism, right? Which is them picking instead of them picking Christian as their religion, or instead of them picking Muslim as their religion, they said, we'll practice the Israelites' religion. So that way we can trade with Muslims, we can still trade with Christians. Because, of course, Israelites, we are the real Christians because we're the followers of Christ. But every Israelite was not a Christian. Every Israelite did not follow Christ. Y'all already heard the Bible. You know about him being crucified, being given to Pontius Pilate, and the whole, him washing his hands, the whole thing. Y'all already know the Bible story, right? So all the Israelites did not follow Christ, but a lot of them did. The ones who did follow Christ, we were murdered. Who was hung upside down? Peter. John the Baptist, he wrote the damn book in prison on an island. Paul, they don't tell you how Paul died. It's not in the Bible, but he died as well. All the prophets died. They stoned Stephen. They crucified Christ. They all died horrible deaths. Who you naming your sons after? Luke, St. John, Matthew, Bartholomew, Barnabas. All these guys that were great men and that still are to this day, they died horrible deaths, man, for following Christ. Right. So being a Christian today, they ain't real Christians, man. A Christian today is somebody that just follows Baal. That's just following the worship, the ancient worship of Baal, which is why they celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, 4th of July, all those same different things that they celebrated way back in the first Babylon. All right. So with that being said, go ahead.
Cool. What's heavy about what you bringing out is I was just thinking about like the things that we say that come out the Bible,
Right.
and cancel culture. I'm like, y'all would have hated Christ if he came here. So it didn't even know you was a giving damn about us saying something that's in the Bible that's real. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like we taught y'all about homosexuality and different things in the Bible we weren't supposed to do, and y'all act like Christ didn't say the same thing. Like the Bible didn't say the same thing. So you know what I'm saying? People just act like they want to use the Bible and don't understand. Like really, you hate Christ and you hate God. If you really look at like what you do versus what the Bible tells us.
Right. Good man. Good man. Y'all might hear me coughing throughout this thing, man. I scratched my damn airway, man. God damn, that thing was rough. I had me coughing for like 3 weeks straight. You know, maybe like if I've been down to something mess, you know, they gave me like an inhaler in the emergency room, all that craziness, man. And prescribed me cough medicine, and kicked me my black behind out so they can deal with real COVID victims. Which is real because the Lord is plaguing his earth. Give the Lord a hand. It's a lot. America said they sending troops over to Russia, over into the Ukraine. They said that today. Breaking news. I don't know what Russia did, but they said they sending troops over there ASAP. So give the Lord a hand for that. All right, Most High in Christ. It's going down, which means time is ticking. All right. So let's get this Hebrew. What I was saying was those three she-devils. They just teaching the Yale University course on this book right here. Biblical Hebrew Text and Workbook. All right, this is a Yale University Hebrew 101 course that you're taking right here for free. Somebody look up the tuition for Yale. It's right here. It's free. All you did was turn on YouTube. All right, somebody look up the tuition for Yale. Let's see how much the bag is to be a Yale University graduate. All right, to even be able to study what we studying right now for free because of the 7 heads of the I.S.U.P.K. and because of men like Albert Bivens, who our brothers came out of their school, the heads, Chief Head Priest Yaikwab, Chief Head Priest Mashah, Chief Head Priest Yaikwab, Chief Head Priest Ariyah, all came out of Albert Bivens School, started 1 West 125th Street, all New York. Boom, you got the truth today. Go ahead.
Tuition for Yale is like $60,000.
60,000 for Yale tuition. That's a lot of burgers you flipping. Listen, strippers make a lot of money, but they ain't trying to go to Yale. They ain't trying to spend that stripper money for Yale University scholarship. And a lot of these damn strippers in college, they in community college. They just stripping because they really love to strip, acting like they doing something with their life. Like, bro, you in community college, acting like that stripper tuition is ridiculous. I mean, like that college tuition is really something. You know what I mean? Atlanta Community College, stop it, sis. You ain't going there. But anyway, now back to the point, right? So we learning this Yale University Hebrew 101 course, which the 7 heads already did the research, went through all of this. Yale even confirmed and backs I.S.U.P.K. Not backs, but confirmed that what we teach is actual Hebrew. It is literally Hebrew according to ancient Hebrew, to the original, what they would call Aramaic, what they would call Paleo-Hebrew, what they call Phoenician. They call it something else, I forget. But Phoenician, Aramaic, Paleo-Hebrew is all ancient Hebrew. It's all our original language, which is why you see these letters up here. You can just Google these letters. Google Paleo-Hebrew, Google Phoenician, Aramaic. Is ancient Hebrew letters. These are letters that Adam came up with. Right. Straight from Adam. These letters older than your generational generational family line. All right, and you got a family tree. These letters is older than your family tree. This right here is not a W. This is Shah. All right. Is a few of them. This is not a sideways T. That's a thigh. Okay? That's not a triangle. This is a dot. This is not a smiley face. It's a connector. This is not a frowny face. It's a connector. It's like right here. This is not an L. All right? This is not an L. This is La, the character La. Some people would say that maybe this is a Y. It's not a Y, that's the character Y. Salaki. All right? So, with that being said, we're going to get into the lesson. Without further ado, can you erase the board? I bought. Bubba Kushal. Give my body a hand, all right? You're going to come up with the exclusively neat handwriting, okay? Shout out to everybody online. Post your questions. We'll answer any questions that you have according to the scriptures and according to the Hebrew, either or. All right? Post your questions in your comments, of course. So let me pull this up. So now we're about to get into the biblical Hebrew text and workbook. All right? Salaki, y'all. So with that being said, boom, 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 boom. Let me just open it with Google Chrome. All right, Bod, I'm going to have you start off with some words.
Okay.
While I put this up on the board. So, Bod, if you can go here and just start out writing the words wherever you left off last week. All right. I believe this might have been the last word that we did last week was Zahab. I don't see nothing after that, which means gold. So you can start with Zahab, the word gold, and then you can just go ahead, all the way down. All right. And I'm going to pull this up for everybody. Boom, boom, boom. Go ahead. Oh, the wide eye bite. Listen, if y'all watch this series that I'm putting out, Ibad is always on point with the alphabet, reciting the alphabet. It's a tradition of the school that whenever we somebody participates in the class, that we recite our alphabet. So like I'm sliding. No, you good. I don't want to mess you up. I'm trying to come forward. That we recite our alphabet, right? So with that being said, I'll recite my alphabet. Abba Gada Hawa Zacha Tayaka Lama Nasa I Patazak Rashatha. All right, so Laki, I'm actually looking at the TV so I can see what's going on. I don't want y'all to think I'm cheating looking at the goddamn the alphabet sheet. Because we be having all types of little scoffers and little computer internet gangsters, little keyboard gangsters that be wanting to come on and talk trash and all that. So besides that, you can recite your alphabet as you go if you want to, and then Astawak, you can recite your alphabet too. Astawak, I call Astawak Swiper. This Negro right here he always get out of reciting his alphabet. Astawak be breaking down scriptures and all that. Ain't recite a goddamn thing, man. I be forgetting. Smooth with it. Smooth criminal. All right, go ahead, Ibad. You got it, bro. Amen. Osai Christ. You got it, Astawak. You might gotta come closer so they can hear you too. You got it?
Abba Gada Ha Wazaka Ta Yaka Lamanasa Al Patazak Kwa Rashata.
Give me a hand, all right? Now, just so y'all know, right, in our language, now I know blacks and Hispanics, we ain't used to really owning a lot of things, right? We're not used to having, power over our own in Israel. And Israel would be blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians today, right? Because that's what we call today, those different names. I know we're not used to having power, all right, over things that are ours, because we don't own a lot of stuff in America. We've been abused in America. We really don't own a lot of things, but this language is ours. If you notice, when we all did our alphabet, we all did it differently. Abad did his slightly different from mine. Astawak did his slightly different from Abad. I did mine slightly different from Astawak's, right? That's because we don't have a specific way to recite the alphabet. Now, don't mistake this for the order. We have a order that the alphabet goes. We all started with A, Ba, Ga, Da, went all the way down, ended with Tha, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Tha. So there's no specific rhythm, so to speak. It's not like English, all right? English today is like A, B, C, D, all that garbage. That's what they teach us. And as a good slave, we go, yeah, master, A, B, C, that, like a dum-dum. But this is ours. If you want to rap the goddamn alphabet, go rap the alphabet. Nobody's going to blame you. They're just going to say, yo, that's it. If you want to sing the alphabet, sing it. That is up to you. If you want to rap a little bit, sing a little bit, rap and sing, just rap, just sing, beatbox to it, it's ours. It's ours. And blacks and Hispanics, I know we're not used to owning a lot of things, right? But just think about this. If you were a school teacher and in your own land, in your own country, literally, your own country, like America is a country, imagine it's your country. It belongs to your family, your race. It's yours. You're a teacher. You're teaching your people. Y'all, we all sort of have the same spirit. A lot of blacks and Hispanics are very talented. Right. Very intelligent, from babies all the way up. Right. Unless it's something that's where that's stopping their flow of intelligence. Like maybe they're not being taught. Maybe they're not being taught enough. Somewhere as though it's slowing down, or they may be born with a birth defect. So whereas though they're not, their flow of intelligence ain't as up to par as somebody else's. All right, maybe abuse in the family home, all those things that happen today. But in our land, it would be different. At one time, it was different. Now, it wasn't perfect, which is how we ended up in America. But it was damn sure better than what we got now. It was way better. You would be able to see your child grow up. All right? It was more, it was still like how it is over in England with, there's no guns, so people get stabbed. That's why Christ said to keep a sword, right? So it was still sort of like that. Like I said, it wasn't perfect. At times, it actually was perfect. It was sometimes where it was perfect, and then we started to, fade on out. So with that being said, right, think of you having your own country. We have our own culture, all right? We have a certain way we dress, a certain way we treat one another, certain things we believe in, things we won't do, things we will do, things we will die for, things we will die literally for, because we won't do it or we will do it. We will love for each other. Things we teach one another. A certain respect level that we have for each other. And then think about you as a teacher, and y'all in the classroom with the kids, and you teaching them, and you say, all right, it's time for you to do your alphabet. And they want to get up, they're going to say, I want to sing it. I want to rap it. I want to do a beatbox to it. And those would be the types of assignments and things that we'll do in class as a child. You know what I mean? Women, they teach the children. They'll keep it entertaining. You know what I mean? So it's not like you got to A, B, C. It's not corny and stiff and white. I hate to say it like that. Because that is how they are. They don't have no rhythm. If you find one with some rhythm, they got a record deal, trust me, because they the only one. All right? Justin Bieber, he's the only one. Justin Timberlake, he's the only one. Vanilla Ice, the only one. Eminem, the only one. And what's that, 5? How many years rap been around? How many years has music been around, period? Who's the hottest white person of all time? The Beatles? Goddamn, maybe. Who? Eagle? It was some group called something Eagle. I think they were like 10 times diamond. But then Prince go 10 times diamond. Right. And he's a Negro. You know what I mean? With his butt cheeks on. And then you got Michael Jackson. High Waters, gay. Same thing. 10 times platinum. Usher, platinum. All the female artists. I mean, so really, you find a Vanilla Ice or Eminem, he's going to get a record deal because they are not talented the way we are from a baby, from a youth. So when they, imagine teaching them, they'll want to. I want to do a beatbox to it. I want to do this to it. I want to do, do different things. Sign language with the alphabet, and you'll let them do it. Astawak, you had your hand up.
Well, if I could, I was gonna say, what I'm saying, about like us being in our own land and like following our own ideas, what I'm saying? Like, and here, it's such a difference between like what's going on in here and what's going on in the world. Like last night I was having a conversation with some brothers about arranged marriages, and I was like, imagine like 16, 15 or something, you know what I'm saying, and your family's together and the other families around you are together instead of destroyed like it is in our neighborhood. And your father can just be like, yo, I know, you know what I'm saying, you get to that age.
Come on up to the screen, Astawak, if you can stand over here. I mean, if you can stand over here, Salaki. So, Astawak, gonna come on and finish saying what he's saying. Y'all can copy these words, more vocabulary words. It's good to have vocabulary words because we're learning how to speak and how to read Hebrew. So we'll be saying sentences. So we learn it like a baby. A baby can communicate. They just can't spell apple or even say apple. But when they're hungry, they know how to communicate. Right. A baby might can say apple, might can say eat, but he damn sure can't spell it unless you tell them. Right. But they know when they're hungry. Right. And they want an apple, they want a bottle. They know what bottle is. They know what. Don't do that. They know what all that is. Right. They know because we learn how to communicate. Right. So we learn how to communicate, but now we got to learn the words, just like a child goes to school to learn ambidextrous, right, and all those things like that. Come on, Astawak, Salaki.
But if I could, you know what I'm saying, like
you can stand like right here, right in front of the prayers. That's good.
Yeah, we I was just bringing it out because we was talking about like how important family is. You know what I'm saying? So we like, if our families was together, the other families around us together, you know what I'm saying? You might own this, the other people that you know might own that, they family together. When you a young man or it's a young sister, parents will talk to each other and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I think your daughter and my son will do well together. You know what I'm saying? And then you meet each other, y'all might go on little dates or whatever, and then y'all both are marriage minded instead of what we doing now. Like now we go do whatever the hell we want to do and our family is destroyed. Right. Matter of fact, instead of the family building a community, the family is tearing down the community because your dad on child support, your mom doing what she doing, and the family destroyed. Now you destroyed. Yep. Then you go find somebody else is destroyed, and then y'all destroy y'all children, and so on and so forth. And now we got almost 600 murders in Philadelphia. Right. Because we don't know how to deal with each other. And what we bringing out in the I.S.U.P.K, from the language to the laws to everything that we do, is to reverse these things that go on in our community and make it to where we can deal with each other again. That's why here we got laws for the way we court. We got a 6-month rule, all that, you know what I'm saying? And we taking it back to biblical days when you ask the father before you talk to somebody's daughter. You understand? Keep it respectful.
When you meet her family. Right. She meet your family.
Right. That was it.
Oh, man, give us the walk a hand. I'm going to add on to what you were saying, Astawak, but go ahead, Abad.
This is a random question.
All right, before you ask a random question, let me elaborate on this. Salaki, y'all. If I could, I did want to say this, right? Just so y'all know, a lot of the heathens, they do arranged marriages. Right. Israelites, we never did that, right, but we always had in mind the type of man, right, that we wanted our child to be with, right, and we always had an understanding with the people that we were cool with about their children. So we had like an understanding, like, I would accept if your son wanted to marry my daughter. Right. Just think about the I.S.U.P.K right now. We ain't looking at each other saying, I need him with her. We don't, you know what I mean? But now I'm not saying that that's what Astawak was saying. I'm just clarifying. I want to make a difference between what heathens do and what we do. So people outside the I.S.U.P.K who don't know, they won't think this in their head. Right. What Astawak is saying to you is, because we have good understanding. Another thing you said was about those marriages is that they be together. They grow together. Right. The problem that we have is our family ain't together. Mom and dad ain't together. Right. And that's what I wanted to piggyback off as well. Mom and dad ain't together, which is why your son has no hope. Right. Your daughter has no chance at life ever. She's going to up and down, fall up and down, and so is he, until finally he's old enough with more wounds than a little bit to finally have wisdom. Wisdom from falling down the steps and learning that you shouldn't go near the steps when anybody looking. Wisdom from don't run in the street because you got hit by a car.
Right.
You don't want to learn that way. You don't want to learn that way. Fire is hot because you were burned. You don't want to learn that way. You don't want to learn why you shouldn't play with a gun. You don't want to learn that. You don't want to learn why you shouldn't drive drunk. You shouldn't learn that way. Now, when your daddy and mom is together, that you have a hell of a chance. Damn near 100% chance of not learning that way. Damn near. Depends on what type of child you have, though. Some children are devious and they don't want to listen. But in the I.S.U.P.K, we don't have arranged marriages for children. What we do have is an understanding of the law and love for one another and the acceptance because of the type of people we are and how we carry ourselves. We have sort of an open acceptance if our children did want to marry. Right. So it's like, imagine you got a neighbor, but y'all both on the same page. Right. Y'all don't see each other every day. Y'all see each other, y'all speak. That's about it. But when y'all do speak, y'all always on the same page. You ain't never see him do nothing crazy. He ain't never see you do nothing crazy. He watched you do righteous things. You watch him do righteous things. Right. Y'all both don't want the kids doing certain things. Y'all agree. And one day, your child becomes 16, 17. His child is 16 and 17. Already, you see them looking at each other. So you know, all right, I know my daughter. I know what she like. I know my son. I know what he like. Right. I see he likes Ted's, I see like Ray daughter over there. I see she and the Ray son over there next door. You don't really want to, you still love your child, so you still nervous, but you are willing to accept. You can accept if they did want to be with them. Right. Because you and her father is cool, or you and her mom is cool, y'all on the same page. And that's our culture. Our culture is that exact same way. Right. It's like, just like being an I.S.U.P.K. It's like, damn, if I see my daughter is into this brother, if I see my son is into this sister, if they did want to marry, I know what page her father's on. Right. So I'm open to accept it. That don't mean that I'm going to arrange that and put that together, or that I just want that. You know what I mean? I just want her to be able to be safe. Right. You know what I mean? And grow up right, or him to lead that girl right, so it don't mess up the relationship I got with her father. So I'm open to accept it, but I'm also still a parent. Right. And heathens, they are terrible parents. Salaki, that's had to say it. Go ahead, Astawak. And then Abad, we coming to exactly, you still got it, right? We coming right to Abad.
If I could,
come on up, Astawak.
If I could, real quick, I was like, it's a lot.
And y'all typing y'all questions as well.
If I could, real quick, my bad for interrupting the class. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? That was kind of my point, because I'm like even when I thought of it, I used the words arranged marriage because that's what everybody know it is, and I didn't really mean it. Like, I meant exactly why you said. Like,
no, I know what you mean, because I would have said the same thing.
Instead, you know what I'm saying?
Because people in the world don't have the understanding we have.
Right.
So I would have said the same thing.
Like, I would understand. Like, my father know what I like already, so he like, all right, they got a daughter, they cool. I know my son, he not going to necessarily like her. Now, it might be a beneficial situation, but he might just know me and look out like, look, you good. I know somebody else you gonna like better. You know what I'm saying? The same thing. You got a daughter, you might be like, he cool, he a good kid, but this ain't what it is. And I'm sitting there thinking about it, like, if I'm marriage minded and I'm 16, 17 already, because I grew up in a stable house, they grew up in a stable house, and then me and the girl, we like each other. It's like, what's wrong with setting it up? I wouldn't have cared. Like, I'd have been cool with it. Like, okay, that makes sense. That's better than us going out and then you get pregnant by somebody that punch you in the mouth and sell drugs and do everything else, or you get a terrible woman pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And she put you on child support, destroy your life, tear you down, destroy your confidence, do everything she can to you. You know what I'm saying? And then she got to raise your kid. You know what I'm saying? Now your kid out here shooting up the neighborhood.
You know what I'm saying?
So Salaki, that was it.
Give him a hand. Damn right. Abba, come on up, man. Shit, I know you had something too, right?
Just a random question.
All right, go ahead. You can still come up and ask the question. Abba, give Abba a hand. This is a powerful garment right here for a powerful priest, man. You can stand over here so they can copy the words down. This should be done by now.
The question was, sir,
Go ahead.
what is biblical Israelite footwear?
Biblical Israelite footwear. Okay, I don't want to. That's more of a question that you should ask the general, because they can tell you better. But from what everybody promotes, it seems like it's just with sandals. But you can also make real footwear out of here's what we do know. Like sandals and like the moccasins that Gadites wear. Both of those. Like even the ones for women with the straps, those type of shoes. But we had like shoes. But you got to remember. Okay, give me the scripture. Give me the one. Isupk, you give me the one for. Can you erase the board for me, Bob? We're gonna go into the lesson soon. All right. I just want to put up. You can put up a few more words. Isupk, I want you to give me the one where it was snowing in Israel, because we in the Middle East, but our land did have snow in it. So don't take it light like we just had like open toe shoes, which is where Gadites, why they knew how to make those moccasins and what they call Uggs today, right? Because it snowed in our land. If you can give me that, Isupk, and then after that, Isupk, I'll just paraphrase it with the damn, it slipped my mind. Oh, with the arranged marriages, just to go into it real quick, right? Because the brother just posted something. Shout out to this brother, Duvall or DeVille, right? I ain't gonna put out your old government, right? He says, Salaki, sir, wasn't King David put in arranged marriage to one of Saul's daughter? I might have it incorrect, just wondering. you on it, but it wasn't an arranged marriage. King David was already a youth that was not a baby youth, but a young man youth. That's why I say he was ruddy. Like he was like a pretty boy, so to speak, but old enough to go to war. I give you two scriptures, right? One is in the Old Testament, it tells you the age of a man. It tells you the age of a person when they're grown. America says 18 years old. That's the law of the land in America. The Bible is 20 years old.
Right.
It's 20. Yeah, that's when a male is old enough to go to war at 20 years old. So anything under that, you was not really considered an adult. In America is just filthy. So they put their women in war. Who the hell does that? You want your wife to be on the front line? Who gonna watch the kids? I get it now. Esau will throw your child, your teenager, into the Vietnam War, into World War I, World War II. And be all you can be. I'll pay for your college, little boy. Come fight for me. That's the oppressor. He's an evil monster, man. He don't regard the old or the young. But I'm gonna give you the scripture where it says 20 years old. All right, I'm gonna type this in for you real quick. And King David, he was not in an arranged marriage. Don't look at it like it was an arranged marriage, because it wasn't. Because King David's father did not send David to go get Saul's daughter at all. Remember, when King David was already anointed king. He was already anointed king before the whole Goliath thing. He was anointed by a prophet, which is why, and you got to remember that will add to your courage. King David was already a vicious bull back then. He had some skills. He wasn't no punk, man. He wasn't a punk. He wasn't a sucker. He wasn't no coward. He was one West. As a youth, as a young man, and I'm glad I said young man, because that's what I want you to think. Think young man. Think old enough to go to war, which I'm about to give you the scripture. Now, unless you got it first, ask the what.
You asked me to pull the one about snow. Is Lebanon in LA?
Salakia, slipping my mind right now. I think it might be close to it.
It says snow.
Because he fought two people in Lebanon. I'm not sure of that part. It might be in our land. It just depends. I got to see the map. Salakia.
I believe it is.
Go ahead.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 18, verse 14. Will a man leave the snow of Lebanon?
We'll leave the snow of what?
Lebanon.
Go ahead.
Which cometh from the rock of the field.
Uh-huh.
Or shall the cold flowing waters come that? It's like cold flowing waters that come from another place be forsaken.
Now, will the cold flowing waters that come from another place be forsaken? So remember, cold water, a lot of them rivers is cold. You're going to need that when you're in a hot land. But in this context, read it again from the top.
Will a man leave the snow of Lebanon?
Will he leave the snow of where?
Lebanon.
Go ahead.
Which cometh from the rock of the field.
Now, give me another scripture where a brother slew two lion-like Moabites when it was snowing in Israel. You can just type that in on Google, right? So I got Numbers 1 and 3. All right? And Numbers 1 and 45. And I'm going to pull this scripture for you. I should post it up. I'm going to post it as Abba's writing. I'm going to post it up here on the, pull up the Blue Letter Bible. I'm going to put it on the screen so everybody can see it online. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Let me pull this up. Numbers 1 and 3, right? So once I got it, boom, 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 Numbers 1 and 1.
I got the scripture.
You got the scripture. Boom, boom, boom. Let me pull Numbers 1 and 3 and just let me know what that one is. I'm going to share this real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Hold up. I did the wrong thing. Share. Here we go. Salaki, bear with me. Coming to you right now with it. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. So let's get it. I'm going to keep this up right here. I actually want to keep this up on the screen in the classroom so I can see it. All right, here we go. So this is the answer to your first question, right? I mean, this is a part of the answer. It says Numbers 1 and 3. I'll read it in Hebrew since it's the Hebrew class. We'll read it in Hebrew first, as we always do. All right. I'll even do this to put it up on the screen big enough so you can see it. All right, here we go. So it said, this is Numbers 1 and 3. Mabun, Aisharyam, Shana, Wa Ma'ayla, Kal, Yataza'a, Yatazaba'a, Bayasha'ala, Paquadwa, a thumb, La Tazaba'athum, a Aharon. And this is Aaron. This last one right here is Aaron. All right, you should be able to see it pop up on the screen. I don't know if you can. It popped up on ours. I don't know if y'all can see it though. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But anyway, that was Aaron, that last word. But this is Numbers 1 and 3, right? From 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel, thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies. All right? So you wasn't able to go to war unless you were 20 years old. Yeah, that's when you can enlist. Just like America enlisted, you can enlist an adult, so-called, in America at 18. But America is full of garbage and don't care about nobody.
Right.
All right, this is Numbers 1 and 45. I ain't going to read it in Hebrew. I'm going to just do it in English. Numbers 1 and 45. So were all those that were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers, by their father's house, their father's bloodline. The children belongs to the father. You are the same race as your father. Bob Marley is white. His father is white. Who else is dad? Nicki Minaj. She's Chinese. Her dad is Chinese. She's not Israel. There's a couple of them in there blending in. There's quite a few of your most famous stars that you love. They white. or they Chinese, East Indian even. What's that girl, that new comedian girl that be with Kevin Hart? The funny chick. Dang. Not Tiffany Haddish. She's an East Indian. I mean, she's an African. She's not black. She's not Israel. She's an African. She's Ethiopian. You can let her go. All right? Don't even worry about that. Let her be. Let her get Muntufu. That's not us. So by their father's house, from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go to war in Israel. So therefore, don't think King David was a baby.
Right.
It wasn't an arranged marriage because he was a child and Saul wanted somebody to marry his daughter. So that was a gift to the most worthy soldier that could take out Goliath. A soldier that was worthy of taking out Goliath. Give me read what you got, Astawak, about the snow in Israel. And I'm gonna pull this last scripture for the brother too, just so we can have it. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 23, verse 20. And Ben-Nayah, the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab.
He slew what?
2 lion-like men of Moab.
Go ahead, read it again from the top.
And Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabzeel, who had done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab.
He slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. Keep going.
He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in the time of snow.
In the time of what?
Snow.
In the time of what?
Snow.
In the time of snow. All right, Salaki, let me look up this right here. Sometimes this app be messing up a little bit. I'll just type in Goliath, and then from his youth, and then I'll just put KJV. All right, Salaki, y'all can't see what I'm typing. Sometimes the app be acting a little funny. I get a little impatient with it. Salaki, y'all. All right. Boom, 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 boom. 1 Samuel 17 and 33. The water has to walk. So we got a time of snow. So Ibad, to answer your question, right? We don't think what people usually would think today, which is sandals, as if it was hot every goddamn day. It wasn't. It was just like think Atlanta. That's a good example. Think Atlanta. Think the top of Florida. Think that because the top of Florida, some parts of Florida get snow. Atlanta gets snow. So think that it's hot as hell all year round damn near, except for in the time of snow. All right. So that's a good example. Astawak, you from Atlanta, ain't you? Oh, you grew up in Atlanta. So come on up, Astawak. Give us a little, give Astawak a hand. He's gonna give us a little illustration, break it down for us about the time of snow down in the south.
All right, if I could, Georgia normally is humid in the summertime. The fall is decent, like it's probably like 60s, 50s. You know what I'm saying? Up to the 70s, low 80s. And then in the wintertime, we'll have an ice storm where it will snow. It'll be in the 30s, 40s, and it'll snow sometime.
When is the wintertime? Sort of. Like, give us how long.
Around now. Like, it snowed recently. Like, a couple weeks ago, when we got snow, they got snow too.
Right.
So it just depends. And then, like, in Georgia, big. So, like, the upper part, like, around Augusta and the part closer to the Carolinas, it snows, like, more. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how it is up there. I mean, down there in Georgia.
Well, sign Christ, the water. My father's family from Augusta, Lionsville, and mainly Glenwood. That's where my grandfather. They came up to Philly. My grandpa came up to Philly. Him and my second grandma came. He had 2 wives. He was following Judaism. He wasn't all the way in the truth, but he followed Judaism. He had 2 wives. He came up from Glenwood, Georgia. All right, but they both from Glenwood, Georgia. They don't like, man. We used to go down there for like the family reunions, Like it would be no light poles for real. I mean, it would be like just darkness. Like in the day it's day and it's hot and you riding the four-wheelers. At night it's like pitch black. But they own the whole damn thing where they at. Like they own the whole 2-3 blocks. I mean, they building houses wherever they want to build. Now they ain't like rich or nothing, but you know what I mean, they use what they got to survive down there. So like I made us small, I made the damn thing big. All right, I wanted y'all to continue to copy these words, Salakia. Go ahead, Ibot. Oh, Salakia. Let me answer this last one for the brother, right? Which is why I did do that. If y'all could bear with me if y'all copying those words. Just bear with me real quick. So to the brother that typed in, Salakia. This is another scripture, right? About King David. Right? King David was promised, he wasn't promised Saul's daughter. Right? He wasn't like betrothed to her and promised to her since a boy or since a baby, since birth. So it wasn't an arranged marriage the way you think a heathen would. But Saul offered his daughter in marriage to whoever would take out Goliath. All right? And this sort of ties you and Abad's question at this point right here. This is 1 Samuel 17:33. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine, this African, to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. He telling what you call, like, yo, you ain't really able to go against this cat. Like, you still a youth, like you ain't really, built enough to go against this brother. This brother, well, okay, this heathen. This heathen right here, he's been a damn warrior since he was a youth. But then King David starts to go into it, how gangster he is. He said, and David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. Verse 35, and I went after him and smote him, meaning killed him. All right. And delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by the beard and smote him and slew him. So King David wasn't no punk. Here goes another one. Thy servant slew both a lion and a bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he have defiled the armies of the living God, which is another thing, black and Hispanic, man. Our God is alive. It ain't like a stupid little meteorite that you put in a box and call him Allah. And everybody go circle him and kiss him once a goddamn year. And it ain't like white Jesus that's just up on your wall in a painting that is not doing anything for you but getting your children molested in the church and sleeping with your wife when you ain't there. Right. But our God is a living God. Our God allowed Moses to split the Red Sea. Our God allowed water to come from the rock. Our God put us in slavery. He ain't to be played with. And our God also said he was going to deliver us out of the slavery. But I don't think it was an arranged marriage. Also, I want to give you the scripture where he promised his daughter to whoever could beat Goliath. All right. Boom, boom. You type it in. And this should be the last part for your question. I know it's a little drawn out. So it's verse 11. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see. I believe it's verse 11. Boom, 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 boom. No. 1 Samuel 17. All right, 1 Samuel 18 and 17. That's what it is. Somebody pull 1 Samuel 18 and 17. I want to see, is there a way I go to the next chapter? 18 and 17. I want to see if I can get to the next chapter. It should let me. I'm not sure if this is how I do it. No, that's 2 Samuel 1 and 1. Is it 1 Samuel or 2 Samuel? 1 Samuel. He was in 2 Samuel. All right, let me try this first. I'll just type it in. It's a lucky for the drawn out answer. 18 and 17. I want to start at 11 and then skip down to 17 and then skip down to 27.
Okay. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 18 and verse 11. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David, even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence.
1 Samuel? Yeah,
twice.
Is it 1 Samuel? Boom, boom, boom. Hold on, let me make sure that was right. Yeah, 18 and 17, right? All right, go to 18 and 17. It's locked here.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 18 and verse 17. And Saul said to David, behold, my elder daughter Merab, her will I give thee to wife. Only be thou valiant for me.
So he said, look, I'm going to give you her to wife. Just be valiant to her. Be valiant for me. All right, hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Hold on. Let me rewrite this so I can put this in here right. Boom, boom, boom. It's lucky, y'all. Working with this damn technology. It might be 1 Samuel 14 and 49. It's lucky.
Oh, God. This is the book of 1 Samuel.
Oh, wait. Boom, boom, boom. 1 Samuel 17 and 25.
Oh, God.
So I was already there. 1 Samuel 17 and 25. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, God.
Go back.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17 and verse 25. And the men of Israel said, have ye seen this man that has come up? Surely to defy Israel is he come up.
So they was talking about Goliath like he was somebody. Go ahead.
And it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel.
No tax. Make his house free in Israel. Give you riches, tax free, and I'm gonna give you my daughter. So that really wasn't an arranged marriage. It was just Saul putting some money on Goliath's head, as these brothers would say it today. He was just putting some money on, a little bit of bread on Goliath's head, and King David got the job done. Go ahead, Ibad.
Bounty?
A bounty.
Bounty hunter?
Oh yeah. Bounty hunter would be King David, like Ibad just said. And that bounty would be his daughter with tax-free riches. Who wouldn't accept that? Now, any other day, any Israelite would have went for it. Like, look, to hell with that. I'm going to go ahead and try my luck. Right. Especially if you broke. You're like, tax-free riches and a nice piece of somebody's daughter. Now, ain't like she a baby. Ain't like you giving away a kid. She's grown. She's old enough to be married. Right. Remember, this black people, this is another thing that I was trying to say earlier. You gotta think blacks and Hispanics. Right. You don't want to think the way American society is now. I wouldn't think that way, because that way is off.
Right.
Children going to war, your wife going to war. Come on. You could barely raise a child.
Right.
In America. You should see what happened at some of these daycares, man. Just look it up. Children getting abused in daycares, and the damn teachers smacking them in the head, and that's just, that's too much. Also, look at what it promotes in America. Who brings in the drugs? Let me ask you this. We all condemn drug dealers on the corner, right? Well, where do they get their drugs from? The cartel? Yeah, right. Did you not remember in Philadelphia, it was $1 billion of cocaine found on the shore? Nobody went to jail. I wonder who cocaine that was. It was your favorite lawyer, favorite congressman, drugs on that shore. Probably all of them working together. We all know about Freeway Ricky Ross he was working for the government selling crack cocaine. So who was really bringing it? What? You tell me what Negro from the hood know how to even fly a plane, let alone which airspace that he cannot fly over and which airspace he can fly over. And then how to get there and back safely more than one time. I mean, come on, man. You're stretching it. Esau, the oppressor, is bringing in the drugs and then locking your children up for selling them after he gives them the drugs to sell. Locks them up after he gives them the drugs to use. Blames you as a bad parent for the drugs they gave them. How many people, listen, go to a college campus with a dog and see how many drugs come out their goddamn college campus. Don't try this on black campuses. Go to your white campus. Go to where all the cocaine is. Bring your dog. See who's going to jail. Daniel Peterschmidt. And attorneys at law, they all going to jail. Future attorneys at law, Daniel Peterschmidt, your future congressman and state senate, is all the cocaine in his goddamn locker. If they didn't even have lockers in college, I don't think so. He got dorm rooms in his dorm room. Ridiculous, man. Somebody had their hand up. I'm gonna let Abad go first. Go ahead, Abad.
Follow-up question?
Huh?
Follow-up question?
Oh, you got a follow-up question? All right, let us go. Just hold on to it, all right?
CBS News. Ship seized in 1.3 billion cocaine bus is owned by J.P. Morgan Chase.
They found out whose it was? And who went to jail? Wait, read it again. $1.5 billion belong to who?
It says ship seized and 1.3 billion cocaine bus is owned by J.P. Morgan Chase.
J.P. Morgan Chase. You know what that is? Huh? Gotta do some research. They got bread. Money. Big time corporate money. Billions of dollars, if not trillions. J.P. Morgan Chase, they known for stock market. I mean, you name it. Like, that's. Come on. Half of that was going up their nose, and the other half was going to the streets.
Right.
To your child's daycare. To your child's school. To your child's job. Go ahead. Go ahead.
J.P. Morgan Chase declined to comment on the record. And then I'm going to drop down. It says the shipping company said it is cooperating with U.S. law enforcement on the investigation. Neither J.P. Morgan Chase nor MSC are targets of the criminal investigation.
What? They got so much money. Look up J.P. Morgan Chase net worth and look up what they are. J.P. Morgan Chase says it's a shipping company, but they also are on the stock market. They got their hands in a lot of things. You better hear about J.P. Morgan Chase, man. They got real money. They are real big corporate, big time Fortune 500 company. Well, multiple sub companies. I mean, they somebody. Read the last part again. I'll say it. They said that they're just helping with the investigation. They didn't go to jail. $1.5 billion in cocaine. Nobody went to jail. Nobody. But they did help with the investigation. Oh, I don't know whose it is. Oh, that was mine? Oh, couldn't be. Walk with me. Here, you want to go out to eat? Yeah, let me help you out. We can help you find it. It wasn't us, though. It couldn't be us. It is us? You sure? Let me go out to dinner. Your daughter was going to Yale, right? I can help you with that. But I don't, we give multiple donations. You know what? There's a movie called Wolf on Wall Street. When those devils came to him and sat down with him the first time, those two cops, those two FBI agents, he tried to bribe them. He tried to bribe them. First they sat down like, yeah, they was all talking nice, but then the snake comes out of them. And when the snake came out of him, it was because he tried to bribe them because of how friendly they were. He tried to give them money to go away. And he tried to bribe him, like saying, like, yeah, you know, we do tons of things like donations and this, that, and third. And hey, I can even show you how to become rich if you want to trade with me. Right. He said, well, how much does your trader make? He said upwards of 500,000 to something million. He said, oh, really? Could you say that again on tape? And he looked at him. He said, yeah, say that again on tape. And he said, get the F off of my boat. Something, you know what I mean? Kicked him off the boat. But he tried to bribe him at first. But that is Esau. Esau is, oh yeah, something, yeah, don't worry about that. You know, it'll come back around. Oh, you were recording me? Oh, that's not mine. I can't help you with the investigation, though. Go ahead, iBot.
Words are soft as oil, smooth as butter.
Yep, the words are soft as oil, yet with a drawn swords. That's Esau. Go ahead, Isupk.
If I could, their net worth is 550 billion.
550 billion. Say it again.
That net worth is 550 billion. So that 1.3 wasn't even a big deal to them. They just like, oh, you know, we just make this go away.
That's nothing. It's a drop of a bucket. $1 out of $500 ain't $1. I think a McDonald's cheeseburger is $3, and you buying that from $20. Imagine that. All right, 1 billion out of 20 billion. You might be like, damn, but you got to do it. It ain't really gonna hurt you, but you got to do it. You have $500 billion. You are spending $1 billion on coke.
Right.
Half of that is up their nose. The other half is to keep it coming up the other nose. That's just how it is. Sell some on the street, smoke some. Sell some, smoke some. Sell some, smoke some. Keep it coming. And that's the same lifestyle that devil lived on Wolf of Wall Street, man. Now I hope I wasn't in your way to get these Hebrew words right. So Salaki, I put some words up on the board for y'all to see. Can you give me that scripture I bought? Words are smoother than butter, yet with a drawn sword. Go ahead. Oh yeah, please come with your question if you can come up. But you can forget about the scripture. It's all good. Just come on with the question.
Okay. My follow-up question, sir, is relevant to the same question as before.
Go ahead.
So what will be modern Israelite footwear?
What would be modern Israelite footwear? Meaning today?
Yeah, come.
Well, today is what we wear now because we Israelites. So I believe what you're trying to say is like back then, the modern thing to wear. Is it like the same? Okay. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Back then, you could for sure say sandals. You could say moccasins and them other female type of shoes with with like the flat bottom, but you strap them up like around their waist. I mean, around their knee, or around their bottom of their leg, like their calf muscle, all the way up to like their knee. Those type with the straps. So you can say all those, like sandals, moccasins, and those type of sandals for the sisters, and the same thing for us. The same like what the Gadites wear. Today, the answer is what we wear today, because of the fact that we're Israelites. So we wear boots, sandals, socks, whatever you want to do now, but we wear like regular sneakers now. Back then, they didn't have like a manufacturer, so like a mass manufacturer that can make 10 sandals at once or 10 pair of boots at once. Also got a link that I'm about to put out for everybody. I'm going to put it out on Facebook. Y'all going to see the link. Use the link. Boots, baby. Boots. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Boots. All right. Cheap. Official. Worth it. Use the link. Use the brotherhood. I got some boots, man. Hashtag UPK boots coming out. All right. For the low. All right. If you don't know. Listen, don't get me into being Jake. I'll make that rhyme for 20 years straight. You don't know for sure. So all that, stuff that we do. But yeah, that's what you can say today. Today, the answer is what we wear today. Because we're Israelites.
Water, sir.
I am the bar. All right, now I got 30 minutes to go into this lesson. I done dragged it out, and the whole breaking everything down. Damn, I keep doing it. Why I keep doing it? This is what I want to do. I want to stop sharing the other screen. So y'all should have all these words: gate, declare, tell, inform. So what we have up here on the board is to explain it. Because I know you wrote it down, but just so you can know for sure what you're looking at. So this is the ancient Hebrew word, which they would call Aramaic or Phoenician or Paleo-Hebrew. There's all those fancy little words. It's ancient Hebrew. All right, it's our language. This is the ancient Hebrew. This is how you pronounce it in English. This is what it means. Ancient Hebrew, how you pronounce it, what it means. Ancient Hebrew, how you pronounce it, that's what it means. So on and so forth over here. All right. So this is Anakia, right? Anakia meaning I. Yaikwa, it says how you pronounce it right here. It means Jacob. Aharon means Aaron. All right, go ahead.
So Dam means blood?
Yes, Dam is blood. Dam. Yep, Dam. All right, you got a homie named Dominique. Call him Dam. So Dam is blood. All right. And you can think of how it would be used in a normal way of life. Think of a woman seeing blood, or a kid, like oh Damium or Dam, like what I mean is they would put sense of urgency on it, or had to say it slow, like just a little bit of Dam, what I mean, just a little bit of blood. You got don't be frantic, acting crazy. All right, Kamash. That's how you pronounce it. Kamash means 5. So on up here, same thing. Malak, that's how you pronounce it. Malak. Reign, rule, be, or be king, or king. How is how you pronounce it, means 10. So that's what you've been copying. All right. But now let's get into the lesson. Go ahead.
If I could, is there a Hebrew word for cadence?
For what?
Cadence.
What could it be? Give me a scripture.
Steady.
No, for cadence. When they when they tore down the wall, when they surrounded Jericho, I always say they, but it's really us.
Right.
When we surrounded the wall of Jericho, the city of Jericho, and did like our song or whatever we did,
Right.
and the walls fell.
Right.
That's a good one. Try to answer everything with a scripture. All right. So, boom. Let me see. Now, is there something else? Let me pull that up too as well. All right. Oh damn! I did the wrong thing. Go ahead, Ibach.
Wasn't that an interesting way for us to win? Just all we had to do was go around the walls.
Yep.
That was different.
That's in Hebrews. Okay, walls of Jericho fell. But if you find it in Google, I think using Google is better. And then I just bring it back to the Blue Letter Bible. We can pull it up in Hebrew.
If I could, Joshua 6 and 5 is probably where that word would be at. I'm not sure.
Joshua 6 and 5.
It's 6 1 through 5.
Go ahead, Abba.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Go ahead.
when Moses lifted up his hands, he was winning the war. He was winning.
But that wasn't like a cadence.
Oh no, this is the complete. This is the complete. This is also.
All right, go ahead.
When Moses lifted up his hands, that was also an interesting way for us
to win a war, right? So we got some spiritual. Remember this. The Lord He's in the midst of the battle. Like a lot of us think we win or we lose because of us. It's just the Lord being with you or against you. That's it. Simple. Fell down the steps, the Lord allowed you to fall down the steps. That's it. You slip and fell in the snow, Lord allowed you to slip and fall in the snow.
So
I mean, go ahead.
It goes from minute instances like slipping and falling out of snow to big instances to win the war.
Exactly. Meaning, if the Lord didn't give the approval for it, then it wouldn't happen. Everything is, at the Lord's hand, at the Lord's will, at His mercy. All right? That don't mean He want you to do that. No, don't think like, I got molested. God wanted me to get molested. No, He didn't. Somebody had a evil, nasty lust.
Right.
And it was, and Satan did his job. And the Lord approved Satan to do his job. That's in Job.
Right.
He gave Satan the authority to do his job.
Right.
Which is to prove that someone is not worthy of God's mercy.
Right.
And that someone may have molested you, which is why they are not worthy of God's mercy.
Right.
Or should, or the Lord should punish them. I don't want to say not worthy of His mercy, but the Lord should punish them.
Right.
That they're worthy of being punished for the evil they do.
Right.
All right. So now, this is the answer. I.S.U.P.K's question. Let's see if we can find this. Let's see if we can use this word for cadence. This is Joshua 6 and 5. We're gonna read it in Hebrew. I.S.U.P.K, you want to read it?
Okay.
Well, let me make it big screen for you. I'll bring us down to the bottom. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. All right, I.S.U.P.K, you got it.
Okay. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 6 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
Wahaya Bama Shak. Oh, wait, that's not it. Bamashka. Is that correct?
Let me see. Where you at?
Bamashka.
No, that was Bamashak. That was right. Go ahead.
Bakwaran. Haya Wabal. Bashamaika. Kwawal. Ha Shawapar. Yaraya. Iwa. Cow. Ha'aim. Da Rawa. Iha. Gada. Wala.
Gadawala.
Kauka. Tha. Pala. Cha. Wa.
The one you just did was Napala. Wa Napala. All right. Nepal or Wa Napala, meaning and fell.
And fell.
Right? Or and fell, meaning either probably talking about the land or something like that. Go ahead. And then you said Chawamath. Go ahead.
Yar. Tha. Ha. Tha. Ha. Ya. Wa. Wa. I'll. Wa.
Perfect.
Ha'aim. Ayash. Na. God. Wa.
Yeah, man. God damn, you pretty good. You're pretty good. Good on the pronunciation and everything. Great with the pronunciation and everything. All right. But the more you practice Hebrew, the smoother it'll come. It'll come a lot smoother when you pronounce it, like when you say it. All right, so let's get it. We'll read it in the English. We're trying to see if we can find a word for cadence. That was I.S.U.P.K's question. All right. So this is Joshua 6 and 5. And it came to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, and all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down. Once again, the city shall fall down. that Wanapala, all right, and fall down the wall of the city, all right, and fall down the wall of the city. Because how you know that? Because the action goes first, all right. Wanapal and fall, but talking about the lame, and then Kawamath, which is and the wall, which they're using as and the wall, but really and was right here. It was and shall fall down, and then the wall, and then of course Ayar meaning city, which is ha over here, Ha Ayar meaning of the city. All right, just so y'all know. Boom, boom, boom. So let's keep going. But the word that we want is shout with a great shout. So you can call a cadence a great shout, pretty much. It's a form of a great shout. I mean, a form of shouting. It's probably an actual word that we have in the school. I just got to look it up. So this was got a wall. All right, got a wall is meaning great. It's a word that means great. Gadawala just has la at the end of it. All right, Gadawala, and then Tharai. All right, Tharai. Gadawala, Tharai. All right, meaning to shout. If you express the word correctly, it's okay. It's a little bit Hebrew is a little intricate because it's just everything is expression. Like think of battle rap. Think of how it's a good it always all right, here we go. So we could just do this right here. Here would be the word right here, just from me seeing this, and then I'm gonna finish my train of thought. Tha, and then you got raw, right? Ra and Wa connected. Tha, ra, I, rai, tha, rai, meaning a battle cry. It says it right here.
So I can
Tha, ra, I.
R-A-W?
Yep, R-A-W.
And then just
I-H. I-H. And the pronunciation, tha, and then ra, and then I, but you got to stress the ha at the end. So you can see that it's both connected. Not tha, ra, wa, I, ha. Yeah, it wouldn't be that. I don't think you said that, but.
You said the meaning was.
I'm glad you said that because we was about to get to that now. Here's what it is. Here's the translations, right? Shout 11 times. Shouting 8 times. Alarm 6. Sound 3. Blowing twice. Joy twice, and 4 miscellaneous uses, right? Here's the outline of biblical usage. An alarm, sound of a trumpet, a shout or blast of war, or alarm or joy. And here's 1A, alarm of war cry, battle cry. Blast for march, meaning from a trumpet. Shout of joy with religious impulse, right? Shout of joy in general, all right? But it's a battle cry. That's what would be a cadence, a battle cry. Go ahead, Astawak Salak.
So can you use this like the cadence is more, is it music, or is is marching a cadence because it's like you're keeping the rhythm?
No, the cadence would be what you say while you're marching. It would be, even if you're not marching, it's the battle cry, is the song.
It's the song.
Right.
Okay.
But you best believe when we did this with this wall, it wasn't just, don't think white people.
Right.
Because then you're just going to think tink, 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 kaboosh, kabloom, all that they do. But when the last part I just did, that's actually Israel. That's what you call it. I was trying to do a different voice, but since I'm an Israelite, I guess it just come naturally. sounding like Garrett. I was trying to sound like a battered, crazy white man. But anyway, oppressor, Salakia. But anyway, it came out just like Gad. But ours is with rhythm. See, it's kind of hard for Israel to lose rhythm because we got it so much. All right? It's got so much of it. But don't think like we just up there and just banging on stuff, and we were, but I can guarantee you, I can damn near it's the 99,999. The coke ain't mine, but it's mine. J.P. Morgan Chase, I can help you find the coke that I lost, but I didn't lose it because it ain't mine. I will help you find it, though you found out it was mine, type of thing. All right, that's what it is. It's like, don't think you just banging in craziness. We were doing that, but I can guarantee you it's still real. Right. You know what I mean? Because we going around the wall, and I think we circled it 7 times, and was yelling and all that, and doing, the same thing we doing. Just whatever we could do to make that, because we very spiritual people. So for the Lord to be with us, right. And it happened. You know what I mean? So I would definitely say that's official now. What I would also do is just check with the general, just in case we have an actual word for cadence. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same word. Go ahead,
I
Ibot.
have 2 questions, sir.
Go ahead.
So, the Hebrew language, is it the strongest language?
Yes, it is.
Okay. My other question was, did Israel always speak Hebrew before they lost the language?
Well, we always spoke Hebrew because before we lost the language, we weren't Israelites. We were just Adamites. And then after that, we was just Shem. And then to Peleg. And then to Eber. Then to Terah, Nahor, Abraham. Or Nahor, Terah, Abraham. Either way, I always mix those up. I think it's Terah, Nahor, Abraham. Right? And then Isaac. And then Jacob. So before that, we were considered the sons of God, right? That's literally what we were considered. That's why they had the flood. The flood was because of interracial marriage. Give me the sons of God, they with the daughters of men. People always think giants and that the Nephilim is super tall, goddamn crazy looking creatures, when that is not what that is. Just like we say, I made it big when you hit the lottery. Right. When you got a record deal, I'm big time now. I'm major. I'm the real deal, I You know what I mean? That the big timers. A giant. I'm heavy in these streets. I'm big. I'm major. You know what I mean? That's not a light thing. That's what I mean? That all those different little slang terms that we use to say, I am somebody. You know what I mean? You say big, superstar, and, he's a giant. You know what I mean? That's what we used back then, the term. You use giant. Like when you say you big time, big, that whole train of thought is the same thing. Abba, can you give me nothing new under the sun? A lot of people, I don't think, I'm pretty sure I got these down now. I should give y'all some more words just because we couldn't get to the lesson. And also, too, I want to answer your question with the scripture. I want to give you the prologue from Ecclesiasticus about the Hebrew being the strongest language. But back to what I was saying. People think that the Nephilims and the giants were super tall, unrealistic human beings. Now, people like Goliath, they were literally that tall. Yahweh, big shout out to Yahweh. Showed me a picture of Wilt Chamberlain. He said Wilt Chamberlain from 58th and Baxter. I said, damn, I didn't know that. He said they used to call him Little Dipper back in the day, right? Wilt Chamberlain. They got a picture of him. Everybody looked like they just at his knees. It looked like they just standing at his waist, huh? Like he took a picture, looked like he was downtown, black and white, old school, looked like he in a suit, and the little small afro, tiny one, like the 50s type of afro. You know what I mean? And he just towering over everybody. I mean, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It's like, I got to use our people so you can not think of Yao Ming and, these other crazy Africans, like the one on the Sixers, that's stupid tall and all that. But think of Shaq, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, and all the rest of the super tall athletes, man. Football players, 6'5", and female basketball players. That's a good one to use too, because women ain't super tall like that. So when you get a female basketball player, she's like tall, and you look at her as more than the average size.
Right.
But really, you know, she's just tall. That's it. So think like that. It's easier to understand it when we use our people. That goes back into the our kingdom, our country metaphor that I gave earlier, because it's easier to understand the Bible once you understand that the Bible is you. Right. You are the Bible. You are the people in it. You're what it's about. You're the story. You're the headline. It's about black people, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We're all black people. We literally all the same race. It's about us. So once you picture it, then it's easier to understand. But to go back to it, they think giants and tall people are you know, it's just like a giant, like super tall. They don't think I'm a big time, I'm major in the streets, I'm heavy, everybody know who I am, I made it big, all those terms that mean that I'm somebody, right? Which has nothing to do with your height at all.
Right.
Somebody had a hand up? Go ahead.
Could you use Tiny Tim?
Tiny Tim, right? And General always uses this. You such a tiny thing, such a small thing. That's such a small thing to worry about. You know what I mean? It's the same metaphor. This is big. This is something big to worry about. I'm somebody big to worry about. I'm major. I am somebody. And then you can be a nobody. You're small on the scale of life. I mean, you're nothing. Pretty much. That's what people try to say. You know what I mean? But it's the same metaphor. One is I am somebody, one is I'm nobody. Neither one has anything to do with your stature, your skin color, the texture of your hair, whether you wear glasses or not, whether you can run fast or jump. You know what I mean? Whether your dad was a half an alien. People need to stop getting high. That's crazy, man. Right. Half aliens and serpent man and all this. The snake talked to Eve, and now snakes don't talk anymore. It's just, it's crazy. It don't even make sense. Go ahead.
What if Tiny Tim was a giant, but they called him Tiny Tim?
That could be possible. Give up by the hand. Tiny Tim could be a giant in the land. Look, think of Lil Tucci, Lil Wayne. He's a superstar. But his name is Little. It's like he's a giant name. He's a giant name. What's that term? They literally say giant when you sell out the music. Like when you sell the whole stadium out. Think about a giant industry. That's a perfect metaphor. It's something that is very big. It's a big deal. I'm a big deal. I mean, so that's the metaphor. But people think of. Now, here's the thing. I went into that to talk about the language. Right. Because the earth was separated. It was divided because of interracial marriages. Right. Because the sons of God, who were the Adamites at this time, the children of Adam, the descendants of Adam, before the flood, were sleeping with people who were not the descendants of Adam. Before the flood. Can you give me the scripture?
Okay.
So this is why God flooded the earth. Go ahead. Hebrews 11. Genesis 11 and
Genesis 6.
Yeah, go ahead. You can go straight to it. Go ahead.
You pull the word from giants in Hebrew.
Yeah. I'll pull it for you. Go ahead. If I ask them, I'm gonna pull the scripture for us.
So they was even separate back in the time of Adam.
No, they was getting it in. They was interracial mixing back in the time of Adam. They was jungle fever back in the time of Adam.
Okay. I mean, they were supposed to be separate.
Yes. The Lord wanted that. That's why the Lord raised Adam up. Remember in Genesis, the first chapter, he made human beings. Right. Remember, creation was done when they made Adam and Eve. They already had made creation. Right. Man was already fruitful. He already blessed them, had every herb, had every damn grass and little insects in the sky and the sun and all those things and air, all that was already here.
Right.
It was already moving, and remember, creation was over on the 6th day. I mean, on the 7th day. It was done. And Adam was made on the 7th day when it was done. I mean, creation was done the 6th day. The Lord rested the 7th day and then made Adam in the 7th day,
Right.
same day. Go ahead.
So when he made man on the 6th day, he made different races of men.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Made different races of men. You got the scripture, Genesis 11 and 6.
The 6 from verse 1. Sorry.
Oh, 6 and verse 1. Go ahead. Let me get with you, bro. I'm going to get with you while you're reading. Salaki.
Okay. This is the book of Genesis, 6 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born unto them. Verse 2. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
Wait. Read it again. The sons of who?
That the sons of God.
The sons of who?
God.
Damn. The sons of God. Christians tear this scripture up. They butcher this scripture ridiculously. Unlearned. Don't know what anything is ever talking about, because it doesn't have anything to do with their lust being fulfilled. So they can't understand why they shouldn't eat pork, why they should do this, why they shouldn't celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving and their birthday. Why they can't eat tuna fish and shrimp and crab and lobster. Because it got nothing to do with your lust. It's hard for you to understand. How we're men of God and church is evil. And how we're not a cult. You can't understand it because we don't got nothing to do with your lust.
Right.
Go ahead.
So in verse 2, the sons of God, they lusted with their eyes.
Oh, brother, they did more than that.
Right.
They did a lot more than that. Read it again from the top.
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
Oh, that they were what?
Fair.
Oh, Salaki, what verse you in? 2?
Okay.
All right, my bad. I'm in the wrong verse, yo. Here we go. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men. Go ahead.
That they were fair.
That they were fair, that they were beautiful. They look good. Go ahead.
That was their first mistake?
Yes. I mean, okay. That's not a mistake. To notice that somebody is handsome or beautiful is not a sin. Or else, why would you tell a child, you're so handsome? You're so pretty. You look so good. You know what I mean? You don't mean it in a sexual way, but you can tell. You know what I mean? Nobody, even if they were ugly, you still wouldn't say, you an ugly little thing, get away from me. You wouldn't say that. You would still tell them they're beautiful, tell them they're pretty, to build that child up as part of parenting. But you can notice when a child is like, damn, that's a fair child right there. Healthy. You know what I mean? No blemishes. Skin is clean. You raise the child up right. Now, that don't mean you looking at him sexually. A mother knows that she has a handsome son. She's not looking to lay in the bed with him and try to make the 15th generation of her son. You know what I mean? A father, the same thing with his daughter. He could tell if his daughter is fair. That don't mean you want to lay in the bed with her. You know what I mean? So to notice someone is beautiful or handsome is not a sin. So that was not their first mistake. What would be their first mistake, though?
The next part.
Go ahead.
And they took them wives.
That's their mistake. The first mistake would be the thought to say, I should take her as my wife.
Okay.
That thought, remember, the thought of, give me the scripture, I.S.U.P.K. The thought of foolishness is sin. That is a sin, to think, damn, I should go and touch on this goddamn thing that I should not touch right now. Come here, Moab, Chinese girl, Kung Fu. Come here, African. Come here, Mrs. Peter Schmidt, the oppressor. Come here, Aborigine. Who else? Come here, Hawaiian, Filipino. Yeah, that thought is a bad thing. That's a sin. Go ahead.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 9.
Go ahead. If you can come up to the screen.
So come over here.
Yeah, come over to the screen.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 9. The thought of foolishness is a sin.
The thought of foolishness is what?
Is sin.
Is sin. The thought of foolishness is sin, man. Why is that? Anybody want to answer? Go ahead, Ibot.
The thought of foolishness is sin.
You actually stand in front. They got the words now. You ain't got to stand on the side.
Because the mind is deceitful above all things.
Yeah, but why that don't make it a sin because it's deceiving you. What would make it a sin?
To act upon.
To act upon. When you start thinking, the walk a hand from reading scripture, the thought of foolishness is sin because that's where it's going to lead to. Imagine having a beautiful, I hate to say these words, I hate to even utter this. Imagine having a beautiful heathen right in front of you, laying in. You know what people always say? Let me come around to the screen. These Christians, they always say crazy things like this. What if she was just laying in your bed when you came home? I would tell her, get the F out. That's what I would do. Get out. How did you get here?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm calling the police.
Right.
There's a lot of things you can say.
Right.
How does any of that lead to sex? The thought of foolishness. You know what their problem is? They pray that there was just anybody laying in their bed. They got home. If it was a goddamn kid, they would be happy. And if they won't touch kids, which I doubt if you're going to do whatever type of sin, all sin is equal. So if you ain't out there doing this, then you're doing that. And sin, give me sin is sin. Give me that. Because you don't know, I'm going to come right to you, Abba, that to be a child molester is the same thing to be a person that smokes a cigarette.
Right.
To be a crackhead is the same thing to be a thief.
Right.
To be a thief is the same thing to be an adulterer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Come on. It goes on and on and on. To celebrate Christmas, you're a rapist.
Right.
To celebrate Thanksgiving, you're a thief. You're a murderer. To murder, you smoke weed. You get high. Give me sin is sin. That's the scripture that Christians don't understand. Don't sin, period.
Right.
You eat tuna fish, you're a murderer.
Right.
You eat shrimp, you're a child molester.
Right.
You eat crabs, you celebrate Christmas.
Right.
You celebrate your birthday, you worship a false god. Well, that's actually what you're doing. Let me give you a different one. You're an adulterer. Celebrate your birthday, you're an adulterer. Sin is all of it is evil. So if you're doing one, I wouldn't put it past you to do the other. I wouldn't. What you want me to say? Oh, he a good sinner. No, it don't work like that.
Right.
Lord is not the respecter. He's not a respecter of persons, man.
Right.
Go ahead, Oscar Walk.
If I could, when you do that, it take the responsibility out of the other person who views what he does personally is not as bad as the next person. Like,
Exactly.
I don't sell weed, I smoke weed, or you know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm not a seller. I'm a user. It's the same thing.
Right.
Guess what? Guess what you're doing? You're selling the thought of using drugs to my children.
Right.
They're watching you have fun getting high. You're selling that thought to my child. You gotta go.
Right.
I'm not a child molester. I just promote child pornography. You see, it's a different thing. I don't do it. I just watch it. I'm not a porno star. I just watch porn. It's the same thing.
Right.
Because when your daughter come in the house and see you watching porn, then what is she gonna do? She gonna watch porn.
Right.
Your son come in and see you smacking up his mom all crazy.
Right.
What is he gonna do? You gonna start smacking up his women? Why not?
Right.
So you do it. When you see the blunt in your mouth, when he get older, putting the blunt in his mouth.
Right.
If he see you sleep with women and you a woman, what is your daughter gonna do? She's gonna sleep with women too. Well, my mom did it. Jim Jones said his mom kissed him in the mouth.
Right. Wow.
Tongue kissed him in his mouth. And he said, that's my mother. But you can tell there's still some in him that's like, man, I should have never said that. That wasn't right. Never told them. that my mom kissed me in the mouth. But he wanted to say it. He was yearning to get that out. Because he really wanted to hear people's reaction to that. And I guarantee you that's probably not the first time he told somebody that. And if it was, it probably won't be the last. Because he already said it publicly. So I can guarantee you that he got to get the answer for that, for why that happened to him. Go ahead.
I could. The crazy part about that was when I seen that, I thought back to the show he was on with his mom. And Israel. And his mom hate Israel. And do not let her, like, he be trying to tell him not to marry her, all type of stuff. Like, he just try to, like, make sure his rib not treated right. She want to be the main woman in Jim Jones' life. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot.
And that's the problem. My mom is my main woman. My son, he my man. Oh, really? I got you. But maybe if you learn how to treat a man, you actually have a real.
Right.
Ain't that hard. Maybe if you learn how to treat a woman, you might keep something. Easy. That ain't hard. Women got to be treated right, too.
Right.
Ain't a punching bag. That's not what we want for our daughters.
Right.
Baby, I love you so much. Here, let me show you how to take a black eye. That's not what you're going to train to, you're not going to teach you that. So with that being said, give me the scripture that asks for what the sin is sin, and then I ask for another one too, right?
So like I said, I couldn't find it. Which one? Where is it?
All sin is type in all sin is as something. It's like I lost my train of thought. Go ahead, Abad.
You want the one in Ecclesiastes? No new thing under the sun.
No new thing under the sun. And let me pull up the other one for you so we can put it on. Yes.
The book of First John chapter 5 verse 17. All unrighteousness is sin, and there is a sin not unto death.
And there is a sin nigh unto death. All unrighteousness is sin. The same thing. Salaki, boom, boom, boom. It is all the same damn thing. Let me find this for you. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, give me what you got, Ibot.
Okay. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
The thing that have been, it is that which shall be.
And that which is done, is that which shall be done.
And that which is what?
Done.
Done. Go ahead.
Is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
And there is no new thing under the sun. Salaki, I was trying to find this. What you call it? Boom, boom, boom. Salaki, bear with me. Go ahead.
So that's talking about man itself.
Read it again.
Because Kim talking about technology.
The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
Mm-hmm.
And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun.
Read it again one more time from the top.
The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
So the thing that have been, it is that which shall be. It was already, and it shall be as well. Go ahead.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
And the same thing that is done is what's going to be done. There's nothing new. Just the same thing over and over. And now, what was the question I bought?
Is this talking about man? Because it can't be talking about technology.
Okay, why? It's nothing saying that it can't be talking about technology. But yes, it's talking about the actions of men. Right? Salakia.
So it can be talking about technology?
Yeah, as far as now, there's certain things that give me James 2 and 10. James 2 and 10.
This is the book of James, chapter 2.
Time check 904.
904. We're going to wrap it up after this.
This book of James, 2, verse 10.
Go ahead.
For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all.
If you do what?
Offend in one point, he is guilty of all.
If you offend in one point of the law, you're guilty of all the law.
Right.
Why is that? Go ahead.
Because you're not perfect.
No. If you offend, if you mess up one law, one thing in the law, you're guilty of all the law. Why is that? Because there's no sin that is greater than another sin. There's no breaking of the law that is greater than breaking that part of the law. You break one part, you broke all of the law. Go ahead.
And the scripture does say that a liar is worse than a thief, though.
Okay, but it has nothing to do with sin, period.
Okay.
Meaning, a liar might do different things than a thief will do, but they are both sinners. So when you say who sinned and who don't sin, who have committed a sin and who didn't commit a sin, it's going to be a difference. What they going? What the room full of sinners going to say? Well, all I did was steal. Well, nigga, you slept with my wife. Blah blah blah. You know, it's stupid. And the people who didn't sin, they're gonna be looking at them like, that's why you shouldn't have did that. I'm going home. You know what I mean? It's like being in jail and saying, well, all I did was steal half the car. Well, I stole all of it. Well, I ain't steal a car at all. All I did was smoke cigarettes. Well, I'm in here because of Christmas and blah. You're still in jail. You feel me? There's no sin that is greater than another.
Right.
Go ahead.
Like we're all in captivity.
Yes, because you all have broken the law. You broke one law, you broke all of them. So if you sin with a cigarette, then you did steal a car. Then you are a liar. You are a thief. If you're a thief, you are a liar. If you're a liar, you are a thief. Go ahead.
For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God.
For all have sinned. But more so, this specific scripture is the answer to it. Because if you offend in one, you offend in all. All right, with that being said, man, it's 9:07. It's 9:07. We didn't get one part of the goddamn, what you call it, man. We didn't get one part of it. I'm trying to drag this out. I'm trying to drag it out. No, I'm joking. All right, but I did have the lesson for y'all, man. I did. Let me just show it. We're going to go into it next week. All right, we're going to go into it next week. Lord's will, next week. Lord's will. All right, so with that being said, hold on, let me show y'all this. We was going to go into it today. This is the review and drill 4, all right, for lesson 12. All right, with that being said, we're going to wrap it up. This was the Lashawan Qadash class, all right. We the I.S.U.P.K, start out at 1 West, 125th Street, all in New York, under commanding GEN.YAHANNA. Okay? Please tune into our classes, man. Get to the Passover. Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 15th through the 19th. Salakia. This is like 7 days. But the Passover is on the 15th.
Right.
All right? The Feast of Unleavened Bread on the 16th. We got a yacht party.
Right.
This is all black yacht party. We got a fishing trip. After that, we got a fish fry.
Right.
There's a ton of things, man. Cocoa Beach, Florida, April 15th. Get to the Passover.
Right.
Serve the Lord, man. Let's put it down. Let's get these crowns. Let's get our land back.
Right.
With that being said, I'm going to pass the class over to priest and officer of 50 Ostawat.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We have the I.S.U.P.K, start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Commander GEN.YAHANNA, move to new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, or the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. We send the Hebrew or I.S.U.P.K, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you to the treasury department. Priest fund is a free will offering, not mandatory. Whatsoever matters for life. Upcoming holy convocations. We got the Feast of Purim. It's the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. This year it will be Monday the 14th of February and Tuesday the 15th. You'll find in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 to 31. I'll check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, it's like black boots, shirt, headband, and scarf. With that being said, the mantra just means to stand. In which we're going to give one courtesy salute. Mantra Shabbat. Mantra Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat.